So we got ourselves the old Columbia letterhead, which has been a staple of many classic comedies. One might, Ghostbusters might come to mind as one of them, all-time classics. We could go on and on, but that's not the purpose of this commentary.
While TriStar would be more
Well,
the action.
our purpose right now is to talk about the amazing legs and thighs of Joyce, and I keep forgetting her name. But the credits will tell us. Credits will tell us that in a moment, and then we would just act like we knew it all along. I think it's Heiser. She has a nice little strategically placed dimple. And who gets out of their bed like that? I'm pretty certain that was a director's choice. He's like, hey, why don't you, Joyce Heiser, there we go. Why don't you swing your legs around so you can get a good shot of your camel toe?
We should try to wake up like that one morning.
I have. It's very uncomfortable. We have the first introductions to her brother, and if you can't tell that he's a horn dog because he's not really holding the Playboy that way, anyone that holds a magazine like that, they're either looking at cars or they're looking at tits. And of course we have the stereotypical stock douchebag boyfriend. And how do you know he's a douchebag, you might ask? Just look at his hair, look at his car, look at his sunglasses. Every 80s movie, if you want to determine who's a douchebag, you look at their hair, their car, and their sunglasses. They don't even have to say a word, and you know that they're just a douchebag. And if that wasn't, if that was an indication enough, just check out his really classy vest that he's wearing right there. It's funny because he's supposed to be like the older college boyfriend, but it feels more like he's her dad dropping her off at school. Even though she looks like she's 26. Now, who actually does this in real life? I think this is all just for the cameras. I think it's all for the cameras to show you how great the 80s were. And here we go. Edwina Pearl High School. I don't know who Edwina Pearl is. We should probably Google her.
Yes.
Yes. Jeff. If you're watching this, Google Edwina Pearl. Email us at theabernathyproject@gmail.com and let us know.
And this is what Jeff Franklin was doing before Full House.
Oh. So we go from tits to.
I think they just came up with a name so they could name the newspaper the Pearl Diver.
Probably. Okay, well, her friend, I think it's her friend's name's Denise. I think it's Denise. I'm not certain. We're just gonna label her stock 80s best friend.
Good idea.
Obviously, she's cute enough so that like any guy would say, "Oh, I would totally do her," but not cute enough so that we would pass up the main chick for her. Even though she's wearing like 1,000 wristbands and has like 1,000,000 pounds of hairspray in her hair. And of course, if you didn't know this was an 80s movie, she's talking about her prom dates right here and, their lack of quality automobiles, because we all know that's what makes a person a good person.
Especially in the 80s.
I know, yeah, because her boyfriend who drives a nice sports car isn't a dick. But this is typical for any teen comedy. You have to have the materialism of the female characters because you have to. It works twofold. Either you have it there to sell merchandise and products, or you have it there to have them basically go through some sort of transformation by the end of the film. And this is the awkward point where you get the journalism professor, which I never had one in high school. I don't know any high schools. Did you have a journalism professor?
No.
Yeah, I never had one. I had
took
English
a criminology class
in high school. That's pretty damn impressive. I guess they thought you guys were all going to turn into deviants. My high school, they taught me how to take care of a baby. I guess they thought I was going to have a bunch of illegitimate children running around.
I luckily had to pass on that.
I always thought it was weird that he went out of his way to tell them. He went out of his way to tell them what his lunch was. Like, I needed to know that he was having tuna, like, on whole wheat. I could steal his lunch because that actually sounds pretty good. I love tuna fish. And this guy here channeling the spirit of Anthony Michael Hall, has his little Stray Cats hairdo, shirt tucked in, obviously. Look at his hands. They're so deep into his pockets. They're like damn near to his elbow. Like, how big are his pants? Oh, okay. And let me hip you guys to something. Back in the 80s, it was cool to go back and reminisce on the 50s. So a lot of these eateries had like an old 50s vibe. I'm guessing now the trend that's starting to pop up is that we're getting these dives that are very 80s like. So by the time we're like, 50, people will be reminiscing about like early 2000s. I shudder to think what those places would look like. You know what I mean? We got Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and friggin' Jay-Z all playing on a loop in a jukebox. Okay, so here's Buddy, her older brother, or younger brother, younger brother. They did really good casting because it looks like they're related, and he's trying to get laid. He is on a crusade to get laid, as I like to call it. And this whole film is about his journey into some panties, and I admire that because when you look at the 80s, right? The 80s was the very first generation of, I like to call them it children. Because before then, kids went outside, they did things. Oh, okay, we could commence. We could reconvene. I mean, we have to moment of silence for the air thrust in the middle of the dinery.
And I believe there'll be one more moment for Gaff.
Oh yeah, there's another one. A moment of silence. It's like 10 gun salute.
Or we just have to sit back and then golf clap.
Yeah,
at the end of it.
10 gun salute, or 10 bell salute, or 10 thrust salute, as we have it. See, now he represents us. He would bang the homely looking best friend that isn't that good looking.
Oh yeah.
And here's the condescending, good looking girl that can get laid whenever she wants, telling the guy who can't get laid that there's something wrong with him. And he says that he makes a good point. Horny will kick embarrassment's ass every time. He's horny. He doesn't care about being embarrassed. Oh, Guess Jeans sighting, if you didn't know by the triangle. The one I remember Guess Jeans from the Brady Bunch movie where they go to the modeling thing. She's like, "You're a model? Like for jeans?" He's like, "Yes." "What kind of jeans?" "Guess." "Oh, I don't know, Levi's, Wrangler, Oshkosh B'gosh."
Even sci-fi art films back then had product placements. All the Coca-Cola ads in Blade Runner.
But that's how you sell your movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the only way you could pay for it back then.
So yeah, the whole. I don't even know if we need to explain the film. But what's happening now is that she finds out that she's a very dry writer and she can't believe it, because not only is she good looking and gorgeous and probably the best looking girl in the entire high school, she has to be like the best writer too. It can't be the fact that she's just boring, as most pretty girls are. I think you guys who are pursuing the pretty girl, I want to let you guys know. Once you get her, you're probably going to be bored out of your fucking skull. Because the pretty girls are pretty damn boring. These guys are just talking about her legs. He's basically letting her know she's a boring ass writer, and it's true.
Yeah, food content and
food content and lunches. Okay, here's the thing. I haven't had lunch at school since I was like in middle school. And then like college doesn't count because you have to eat in college, it's a necessity. But high school, I skipped lunch. I skipped breakfast in high school. I was one of those people that didn't eat their first meal of the day until like 5 o'clock in the evening, and it wasn't a big deal. Maybe because I was like going through puberty, and I when you're that riled up with hormones, food doesn't matter to you. Food comes after you bust a nut. Then you want to eat.
This didn't happen with me, dude.
Well, that's because you weren't pursuing tail. I would like to imagine. You were the good kid that did your homework and ate your vitamins and said your prayers and what was the other shit that?
No, I was the lazy kid. Played video games.
Well, see, we all know video games affect your libido. So, I'm not even joking. That's a scientific study. You ever notice that when you're done walking around or going for a jog or even walking around the mall or just being out and active, you sit down, it's the first thing you have a raging fucking hard on. Why? Because you got like, and you're not even thinking about girls or anything like that, but your dick gets hard for no reason at all. It's because, you have the circulation going.
Hmm.
You have a lot of circulation going. I mean, those pills, those magic pills, they don't make you horny. They just make the blood flow to your cock. But you could easily remedy that by eating healthy and
What do you think?
getting some exercise. Okay, first of all, what is this? What does this guy get off? Who does he think he is? Friggin' answering the door in fucking panties. Oh, okay, they're not panties. False alarm. He just had his fucking shorts pulled up to his chest. Okay, so here's Buddy.
Do you think those Playboys are less digitally enhanced than than they currently
Well,
are?
no, obviously not, but they're still not a realistic representation of a woman.
I guess that was the height of implants.
It's not even an implant thing, it's just that they don't look like real women. Like, she's not airbrushed right there. If you were to remove her top and her bikini bottoms, that's how she would look like nude. Perfectly fine, but fucking Playboy, they just butcher things. Like, I'm never gonna forgive Playboy for how much they ruined the Lindsay Lohan thing. Because she's a ginger. I mean, I hate to get off topic, but she's a ginger. So she has light colored nipples. You friggin' like airbrush her, we see no nips. We just see like silhouettes of a nip. Shades of a nip. We need to just get her straight in nice lighting, completely topless, none of this shadow bullshit. And I'm completely going off topic because I should be talking about the just banging body of Joyce Heiser. I mean, damn, I'm surprised she didn't blow up more in the 80s. Probably because people saw this movie and realized how androgynous she was. And they said, we don't care how much of a beautiful like body she has and how indicative it is of the quintessential female form. They saw the face, they're like, this woman actually was able to pull off being a dude. We can't have this in our film. The man voice, which I don't have a problem with. I'd like for her to call me in the middle of the night and talk dirty to me. But she has to keep her hair like that, because when she cut her hair, I don't want to think of Ralph Macchio when I'm hard. I really don't. Okay, so this guy's on a crusade to get laid with his own girlfriend, which is really sad. She's down because she didn't get picked for the article.
Journey.
Yeah, Journey. They're like it's like metal with training wheels, basically. So
They started off as Prague with training wheels.
See, I don't understand. I don't understand the whole. Why is he sticking them to the little love seat swing hammock thing that he has in the corner? I don't understand it. I think he just needs to look at girls at all time. And he's giving the typical guy argument. Oh, well, these girls aren't just tits and ass. They have brains and they have a mind. Like, that even matters to men. It matters to me, but I don't count as a normal man. I don't. Rest of you guys, I'm pretty certain you don't care if the girls you're fucking are essentially brain dead, as long as they're good looking and they're giving you some. How profound is he? And she says, "Can you think of anything more profound than getting laid?" He says, "A blowjob." You know what I mean? So it's like, but this guy is like, he's like a grandmaster of 80s Phil. There again, more words of wisdom. Today's woman can be every bit as perverted as today's guy. And she's complaining, saying that she wrote an article, and just because she's cute, no one takes her seriously. No, it's because you're probably a boring writer. I mean, she's still with this whole, oh, well, I must be good at writing because I'm good looking. More words of wisdom. Male body needs sex at all time. It's a living hell. So here's my thing, right? Obviously he's doing this because their parents went away. What's he gonna do when they come back? Like, is this just like a patchwork swank bank, and then hopefully he gets it out of his system, and then when they get back, you have to like put him back up You know, he has to put him back in the trunk.
Probably.
Yeah, she totally can pass as a guy, and it's disturbing. And her own brother didn't recognize her because he wasn't quote unquote paying attention.
Right.
You know what I have to say though? I think Joey Lawrence from the show Blossom and Joey Lawrence of '90s fame totally stole his look from Buddy. You know, the sleeveless vest, the hair. You know, his eyebrows aren't nearly as shaggy as Joey Lawrence's, but you know, I could totally see I could totally see Buddy going, "Whoa." More words
Yeah,
of
I
wisdom
see
from
it.
the Budster. He's going to teach her how to stand like a guy. Yes, that is true. I
That's
stand with my
important.
legs spread all the time. Because, like, you know, I mean, I wear tight pants because even though my pants are like 45% spandex, so they're stretchy, I still wear tight jeans, so it's like you kind of have to stand with a wide stance to, like, dislodge a testicle that might be stuck on the inside of your thigh. Now, you know, nowadays, back then they didn't have such luxuries. It's like you really had to get in there and adjust things. Now I could just wiggle them free. See, I don't know if it's medically possible to move one testicle from one side. You know, if your testicles could switch places, I think they just gotta stay on each side.
Yeah.
So if he's moving things around, he might want to see a doctor. And for those of you who are not 80s kids, even if you were like born in the late 80s, back then, you know, then to give the illusion that you had some junk in your yeah, it's not your trunk, but you have some stuff under the hood. You would stick socks in your pants, and bitches would be like, "Oh my God, look at that!" And now look at him. Look at this is so racist. You know,
Harry Shearer used a cucumber wrapped in tinfoil.
yeah, you know, I find it funny that you know he shows her that's how he's supposed to walk, but he never does it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that one absurd type of. I don't even know how to describe it. So
It's
ridiculous.
very jive. You know what I mean? It's very Saturday Night Fever. Not to sound vulgar or anything like that, but I would totally fuck her mouth. Not now. I mean, Jesus Christ. She looks.
It is
you know
Ralph
what?
Macchio.
It's Ralph Macchio, but even Ralph Macchio kind of looked like a lesbian back when he did Karate Kid.
It's why he had to learn karate.
Yeah, he kind of had a tranny quality about him. I wonder how old she was when she did this movie because god damn, she looks like she's in her mid-20s and she's supposed to be a high school student. Now, granted, I still look exactly the same as I did when I was 13, but you have to understand. You know, my mother is West Indian and my dad is blacker than Ace of Spades, so you know, I got that good
You
melanin.
ain't cracking for a while.
I ain't cracking for a while. Okay, now here we have William Zabka,
Yay.
who is a first ballot inductee into the '80s Douchebag Hall of Fame. You might have seen him playing the douchebag in The Karate Kid, which is funny because he does have Terry does have a Ralph Macchio kind of look to her, and he was also in the Rodney Dangerfield film. Was it Back to School?
Back to school, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He didn't have an impressively long resume as a douchebag, but whenever he got those opportunities, he really shined.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He was like the Larry Bird. Limited career, but he made it work for
In
him.
fact, I don't know why Robert Rodriguez hasn't revived his career made him a villain in a movie yet.
I mean, you know, if he managed to revive Mel Gibson, even though that wasn't very hard because Mel Gibson's a woman beater. But so yeah, these are the local juicers. The guy on the right looks like somebody's uncle that they just called in to be an extra. And look at how he's shining his apple for him. Freud
Looks like meat from Porky's.
yeah, Freud would have a field day with him. Now look at
Maybe
this.
that
Look at
is
this
meat from
embrace.
Porky's.
Look at that embrace. Who, aside from like kids who are like in the first, second grade, and you're very androgynous and and how you approach everyone. Nobody embraces each other like that. I was never that friendly in high school. Not in the least. So obviously this is, typical setup. She meets the nice guy. And that's going to become something later. The kid sleeping in the front has balls. Look at him. He just goes right back to sleep. Doesn't even care. If you could just pause this, you would see so many 80s archetypes in this one scene. Obviously, you have the sassy black teacher, but now you have these guys who are like the standard sci-fi geeks because, the 80s, 70s, and 80s were a big, big, huge boom for sci-fi. You know what I mean? And then we have that guy back there. Looks like the bass player for Flock of Seagulls. Oh, it's just...
Yo, Flock of Seagulls.
Oh, I have to say, I love Flock of Seagulls, so I can't knock it too much.
You like their D tracks?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I've heard a couple of them were pretty big in Europe.
The Europeans are weird, though. I mean, they like poop films. And
only Germany.
Well, no, not only Germany. And here we have Shalomar's track, just one of the guys that actually, I believe it won a Grammy. I don't know what for. I just remember Shalomar being referenced in an episode of Chappelle's Show when they were talking about Mickey Free. That's about it, so that's my extent of knowing what Shalimar is. Obviously, this isn't real graffiti. This is all put together for the film. But if you look closely, there's a message that says, Joyce and I forgot the other name are sluts. The other name is the name of the director. This film was directed by a woman. I can't remember her name for the life of me. I'm going to consult the all-knowing DVD box. So while I'm doing that, you just take it away.
Don't talk to other people in the bathroom.
You don't have conversations with dudes when they're pissing. I don't. Some people try that and it's really uncomfortable. When I'm like at Port Authority and I'm peeing, which is just, Port Authority bathrooms, even stepping in them with your clothes on, you run the risk of contracting something.
I remember.
So, imagine pulling your dick out in one of those places trying to pee. I can't find the name of the Lisa Gottlieb. Gottlieb, I think, is her name. It says Joyce and Lisa are sluts because it's like a little in joke. 1985. I was chilling in West Philadelphia with my dad's testicles. I got in a fight, and they had to send me to Bel Air. And Bel Air was a napkin. But I was resilient. I eventually made it into my mother. But how was 1985? Do you remember 1985 at all?
Do I remember 1985 at all?
Yeah.
Alright, what was I doing in 1985? Let's see.
You were probably watching TV and eating junk food and drinking out of juice boxes.
Watching, yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Man, PG-13 movie, but we got plenty of man-ass. Because that was my childhood, too. It was like, juice boxes never went away. It was Capri Sun for me. Capri Sun and Doritos. I really like Doritos.
Oh, 85 was my first year of Catholic school. Ugh, shudder.
No, Catholic schools are awesome, dude. Think about it, right? We wouldn't have half of the porn stars in the porn industry if it weren't for Catholic school.
Looks like Phil Collins' loser brother.
No, he looks like how Casey Jones looks now from Ninja Turtles. Now that he has no hair and he put on some weight.
Really?
Maybe that's his dad. Well, I mean, a guy only lives 20 minutes away from here. We should just probably go knock on his door. What's he gonna do? Be like, hey, we're a big fan of
To
your
get
work.
off his lawn.
He was actually in that movie, the Woody Harrelson movie, where he played a superhero. It had Kat Dennings in it. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was around the time where people were making those superhero films that were kind of like in the vein of Kick-Ass. There was the one with Rainn Wilson, which I can't remember the name of. Was it called Super?
Yeah, Super.
And then Defendor. That was the name of
Defendor.
Defendor was the Woody Harrelson movie with Kat Dennings in it. Yeah.
And why am I just hearing about this?
Because, man, you go on, you spend hours on the internet, but you don't know what to look for. I spend about half as much time as you do on the internet. I just know all the places to hit. I go to forums. I'm a big film geek, so it's like I'm always looking for stuff that's obscure and things that people might not have heard of. Even though I think maybe I was with you when I saw Defendor in a Micro Center, the DVD, and I showed it to you. Because the only time, I think the only time I ever went in Micro Center was when Joanna was working there, and I would go and check up on her. So I don't know. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was someone else. Okay, so here's the ritual for the new kid. You drag him into the shower and you hose him down. And he gets all wet, and it's somehow funny. I never got the whole like rowdy testosterone infused male togetherness. I was an athlete in high school. I was like, you know what? I'm not showering with you guys after the game. If it's a home game, I'm going home and I'm showering. I'll see you guys at the party later. If it's an away game, cologne everywhere. I'm not getting in the shower with you guys. So now she's going to use some of that MacGyver technology that was so big in the 80s. Where she's going to sabotage the boys' locker room so she could change. Where the hell did she get the lighter from? I don't recall her being a smoker. Although, the sound of her voice, it wouldn't surprise me that she was. And here's a nice little indication she's a chick. She bends over, you get a nice little look at her ass. And it's so freaky that she's able to pass it off as a boy. Okay, obviously we want to draw the obvious comparison to the Shakespeare work that is even said that it was inspired by it, where
which one was it called? 12th Night?
I think so. We'll say 12th Night. If we're wrong, then you want to debate us on Shakespeare on a commentary for an 80s film, then something's seriously wrong with you.
Fast lanes.
The whole premise is a woman seeks equality, so she dresses up like a man. And it's funny because when I was looking up the IMDb, all the characters were actually there. Like her brother was like another guy, a character in that play. She was the main character. Rick represented something, and even the bully represented something. So it was actually kind of cool that those classic stories can be updated and turned into entertainment for kids of the 80s to enjoy. Because I'm pretty certain the 80s was a big time movie going time, because there was no internet, but it was the beginning of people having stuff. Here we have the aliens doing their little whole our symbiotic link is severed and we're on different teams, even though if they're aliens, their link extends to 6 feet, then they're probably not as advanced as we would like them to be then.
Yeah, 6 feet's a little.
Okay, so obviously we can't see her breasts, not just yet. So
not here.
She can't be skinned, so she has to go to.
She has to fake a stomach cramp.
Yeah, fake a stomach cramp.
And while she's now moaning and.
Now let's take this back. The 80s, you were able to smoke in theaters, diners, places like that, arenas. You go to basketball games, you could smoke, etc. This gym teacher just asked one of his students if they're a pussy. You would never see that nowadays because it would be bullying, and it would be all over the news. Lawsuit. Even though like my boss yesterday, used the F word on me, I wonder if I can get her in trouble. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the racial slur one day, and then I'll be like, yeah.
Ching 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 ching.
If that's the case, then we're gonna
take like a progressive jackpot.
We're gonna take a plane ride. We're gonna take a plane ride out to L.A. We're gonna have Kat Dennings and Beth Bears make out. We'll pay them.
Yeah. Yeah. If I hit a jackpot like that, I'd be like, you're gonna get money.
Well, I
mean, like sex. You're gonna get money in exchange for sex.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think my lawsuit would be that big. I think at the very most, I could squeeze maybe like $2-3 million out of them. But it's $2-3 million that I didn't have to work for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I would
definitely buy a bunk bed with that money, though. That's the first thing I would do. I would buy a bunk bed. Okay, so, Terry obviously turns out that she's just not talented. And she submitted her article as a guy, and they still thought it was crap. So, this is how women drown their sorrows, and it's been this way since ice cream has existed. Something bothers you in life, you get a carton of ice cream.
What they used before ice cream? Probably.
Well, here's the thing.
Probably rum.
Here's the thing. It's like, cakes. I mean, cakes have been around for. Sweets have been around for a while. Yeah. You know what I mean? But ice cream is just so convenient. It gives you the sweetness, and then it has the. I would personally get a milkshake or a smoothie, but that's me. But ice cream works just as well. You let it get a little soft. Why are we even talking about ice cream? Because she's eating it, and now Terry's gonna find a story, and and she's going to try again.
USA.
Here's the thing. True. Here's the thing. I'm an okay looking guy, and I would say Buddy is he's a cute looking kid. If I had Buddy's good looks, I would have been able to bang her friend. I totally would have. Because her friend's lonely. First of all, you ever see her with a man? No, except like at the end of the movie where it's like a 40-something-year-old looking dude.
Yeah.
I would be able to seduce her.
She almost looks like Rebecca De Mornay.
With no chest.
Right.
And she dresses like a dude. Now, why is the black girl in the background dressed like she just came off the plantation? What the fuck's that all about?
The teacher looked like she came off the plantation.
Oh, I teaches your little children's real good. Okay, now we talk about how everyone looks older than they're supposed to be. She looks like she should be driving an SUV full of little girls to a soccer game. But she's supposed to be the hottest girl at that high school. Seriously? I mean, obviously, I know you can't get kids that are young, but what happened about just getting a bunch of 18-year-olds? You want to know why The Lost Boys worked so well as a teen film? Everyone on that film that wasn't, like, underage, which, obviously, like, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, everyone was just 18. Everyone was 18.
Okay.
Everyone. Kiefer Sutherland, even though he looked like a 30-year-old man when he was 18, he looked like a man, they were all young. But here it's like everybody looks like they're... And the only reason I know this is because now I'm at a certain age where I'm like, these people look older than I am, and I think I'm old. Like, how old is this dude? And Reptile Sherbickle's his name. He has all these animals around him. He's weird. Yeah. He probably smells. How old is he? How old is this guy? Now, Rick is weird because right there he kind of looks young. But by the end of the movie, he looks like he aged like 6 or 7 years. I don't know if it's the change in style or if it's because he has a boyish haircut or what. Obviously, look at the bags under her eyes. She's at least, early mid-20s. And then before you got the close-up, you saw the cracks on her forehead. Okay, but this guy Rick is me in high school basically. I was a big music geek. Big music geek. I was always in headphones. I'm still in headphones. Hold on. Check out the douchebag. He has working out on his mind all the time. He has to carry his books like it's a workout. He can't just carry them underneath his arm like a normal person. He has to hold them up like this. Yeah, these books are heavy. Look at how I hold them. But anyway, yeah, I was Rick. I was Rick in high school. Till this very day. I don't go anywhere without headphones. I love music. I'm always listening to music. But yeah, that's just a little something that has nothing to do with anything. But if you couldn't tell that Terry was a girl, look at how she eats a fucking sandwich. She picks parts of it off. Have you ever eaten a sandwich like that as a man, as a grown man? You pick your sandwich off like little piece by piece, or you just fucking hold it and bite into it. Yeah, so you can't remember the last time you ate a sandwich like a woman. Yeah, because you were probably 6. It doesn't count.
Okay.
I said like a man, as a man. And speaking of man, what I don't understand is first of all, how can a girl register at a high school, right? Without her parents' permission.
That's a good question.
Right? And as a boy, and no one knows that she's a girl. I think, though, to be on the fair side, more man ass. Much appreciated that it's obscured man ass. And this is the most ridiculous thing. He has a fucking iguana on a leash in the shower with him. Didn't he just have a steak like 2 seconds ago? Was he keeping them in his locker? That's animal abuse. Okay, so, like I was saying, obviously I think her full name is Terrence Griffith. I think that's her name, Terrence. But at the same time, though, I mean, wouldn't you know? Like, wouldn't you know that she's a chick? Okay, here we have Charlene Fenn, who, by Wizard Magazine's 1990s dated poll, believes she should have been the choice for Jean Grey. After seeing Famke Janssen in those movies, I personally think she would have been a better choice for Jean Grey. Anyone would have been a better choice for Jean Grey than Famke Janssen.
And for one episode of Birds of Prey, she played Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the one of the few things I remember about that shitfest of a show. But when it comes to Birds of Prey, your memory should probably be very minimum.
I agree.
Okay, so she's giving Rick a ride home. It's cool, It's nice of her. 80s, everyone drove a convertible. They're in California, makes sense. He lives in a nice little mesa home. It's very made out of clay.
Is this supposed to be perhaps the OC area? Maybe.
Possibly.
Probably.
I'm not well versed in California geography. I fucking hate California, but that's just me. Okay, so yeah, this is Rick's humble abode. A lot of natural lighting in here. I mean, it's like a very big windows, doors, windows. Obviously, you couldn't have this home in Chicago because people would just like break the glass and come into your home. You'd get robbed every single time. But they're trusting out in California. It's okay. It's
in certain areas of California.
Well, I doubt Rick lives in Compton.
No.
Okay, so here we go. The generic beers that just say beer on them. There's no label. There's no brand. It's just beer. It's like like how cafeterias. Remember when you were a kid? And I don't know if this was the case in the 80s, but I'm guessing it is because it was the case in the 90s. They'd have the big tin of peanut butter. Just have a white label that would say peanut butter on it. And they'd have to open it with an electric friggin' can opener, the big ones. And that's what they would make the kids PB&J sandwiches with, just a big container that says peanut butter on it. It wasn't Jiffy. It wasn't Peter Pan. You know, what's another brand? It wasn't Skippy's. It just said peanut butter. See, like it just says beer. Think about it, dude. You go into a store, right? Even the generic brands have names
and logos.
Would you ever buy something that just said beer?
No.
I wouldn't either. Because how are you supposed to know what's in it? I mean, the label is everything. And this is where we find out that Rick has a hard-on for James Brown. Which, well justifiable. James Brown's the shit. I'm not knocking him. It's just kind of weird that this kid would be into James Brown. So you could kind of say that Rick was like the prototypical hipster. You know what I mean? Liking something that he really shouldn't like because it's so before his time, even though James Brown, you know, did it up until he died, was it a few years ago? But, he talks about how he can't listen to music in his room because when he listens to James Brown, he goes mad and he has to dance just like him. Funny thing is that James Brown actually heard about the film. This is an IMDb. You can look it up. I'm not bullshitting. He heard about the film and he decided to come on the set and show Rick some of his moves for later on. So I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why they're able. Because think about it. You have a film, right? You're able to afford the likeness and name James Brown, but the cans say beer. So it's like.
And you know what? For 80s kids that grew up worshiping the 50s, I think they should be named after the dude from the Stray Cats. Brian... I can't forget how to pronounce his last name.
Give it a shot.
Setzer?
Oh yeah, Brian Setzer Orchestra. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
They should be called Setzerites or Setzers or...
Oh yeah, suck your own.
Oh.
Eat me. It's just obscene, foul language. And it's mom. You think it's like one of his buddies is like his mom. And then she thinks, oh well, that's how guys talk to each other. So now she's gonna try this out when Rick calls her. Oh, when she calls Rick on the phone. Scumbag.
When I first saw that scene, I laughed for minutes upon minutes.
Minutes upon minutes?
For like 15 minutes.
Seriously? You should get on the phone right now, call Avril Lavigne and tell her you can have the song titled Minutes Upon Minutes, and she could write a stupid song called Minutes Upon Minutes. Sounds like something that would, Avril Lavigne would write. Or what's the one? Miley Cyrus. All those chicks that sing songs are stupid like that. Of course, you look at him, he's having fun with animals. She's doing her nails because that's all 80s girls care about. She told him to dress stylish, and he just shows up in his, military puke greens. And she's going to coach him on how to get women. His body language is kind of weird. It's like he's about to ejaculate, and he's trying so hard to not let it happen. It's like a total Jason Biggs moment where he's just fighting it. You gotta be confident. You gotta walk over to her and talk like this. Because all guys talk like this. You gotta let her know that you love her and that you can never live without her. And then you just gotta get in them panties, son, because this is how all guys talk. Oh, man. I remember when I Love the 80s talked about this film. They were like, yeah, because all guys talk like this. And look at him. Totally striking out. And he's fucking, making Google eyes at a fucking... What's it, iguana? Is it iguana that he's trying to make out with in class? Yup, you have beautiful eyes, and she's wearing sunglasses. Now, in the 80s, there were two reasons for wearing sunglasses indoors. One, you thought you were cool. Two, you were a big pothead. And then there's an occasional my boyfriend hit me, but not often. Even though she does look like the type of chick that would get slapped around. Karate chop, because 80s were all about karate. I wonder if that was a nice little latent reference to her looking like Ralph Macchio.
Oh, yeah. The set was probably full of those jokes. Ralph Macchio jokes.
Dude, why would you want to talk about how a girl that you would probably fuck looks like Ralph Macchio? You know, that's like saying, oh man, that bitch is fine, but she kind of looks like John Stamos. Okay, now this is typical of every single guy. Here's the thing. This is what's fucked up. The guy, I'm going to talk about this really quick. Just give me a second to talk about this. It's the guy and girl politics, right? You got Rick there, who's obviously an okay-looking guy, above average-looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's striking out with girls, so he's going to try and get with a girl who's kind of homely-looking. The homely-looking girl doesn't want to have anything to do with the guy that's actually better-looking than her, because the homely-looking girl probably wants a guy that's really hot. Now, that's the fucked up thing about the guy-girl thing. It's like, if you're a girl, even if you can't get the hottest guy, right? And I'm pretty certain you could at least fuck the hottest guy if you're slutty enough and you do nasty things, doesn't matter what you look like, you'll get the hottest guy. But at the same time, if you want a nice boyfriend, you could always get the nice, decent guy too. But if you're a guy, you can't get the hottest girl at all if you're a decent guy. At all. Unless you're a jerk. And you can't get the homely looking girls. And then sometimes you can't even get the ugly looking girls. So what you do is you end up like Rick, who, if you listened earlier, had to have sex with his mom's best friend after his dad's funeral to get laid. And it took his dad dying for him to get laid. It's fucked up. And here we go, buddy. He's singing. He's
Risky
singing.
business homage.
Yeah, he wants to love her with a slow hand and an easy touch. That's just disgusting. And he's just all about it because this girl's coming by to study, and in the 80s, when a girl came by to study, it meant you were getting some. Nowadays, if a girl comes by to study, it just means that she wants you to do her homework for her. Yes. Moment of silence. 10 thrust moment of silence. And here this guy is. This is such a. It's so terrible. This guy's excited, right? First of all, he has like a 6-pack. How can he not get laid? The film says he's 15. He's 15 years old with a 6-pack. That hasn't really happened in the history of film. If you look back, like I mean, obviously Twilight recently, the shirtless dude is supposed to be 16. He has a 6-pack. How is this guy can't get? How is it that this guy can't get laid? But he's excited to get laid, and his sister just says, "Are you sure? Does this girl have any idea she's coming by to rock your world?" For the purpose of the film, this guy can't get laid. Rick can't get laid. None of the guys, Terry's boyfriend can't get laid. You notice that none of the guys in this film can get laid. Probably, what's the asshole's name? I'm trying to remember his name. Greg Tolan. There we go. He probably can't get laid either. That's probably why he's so upset. But then again, his girlfriend looks like she could be his mom, so that's kind of messed up. But you notice how, like, guys in this film can't get laid.
Yeah.
But you know who can get laid? Terry. Because Terry's about to get hit on by a girl. Terry gets hit on by girls, gets hit on by guys. Even when she's a guy, he gets hit on by girls. Guy, girl, 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 guy. Doesn't matter. And here we go. Generic beer, but a Coca-Cola can.
Yep.
And no one finds it weird that she's drinking Coke. You want to know why? Because she's in the 6th grade. That's why. She just said 6th grade is so bogus. She's in 6th grade. And first of all, I don't know how the rules were in the 80s and the laws were in the 80s at the time in 1985. We'll probably have to look it up. But they're still in high school and they're drinking beer. They're all still high school. They're high school seniors. They're drinking beer. Like maybe the illegal drinking age was different in 1985 in California. But the 6th grade girl is drinking Coke. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Well, I think here in Jersey it's illegal to purchase but legal to drink.
So you would have. But here's the thing. Obviously, if an older person bought beer for a younger person so they could get intoxicated, they'd probably go to jail for some charge. So basically, it has to be like the parents buys the beer, says, "Hey, son, you can have a beer with your meal,
Yeah.
or you can have a glass of wine."
Yeah.
Up, up,
Ooh.
Bobby socks instead of a cock. Yeah, she has a really good explanation, and she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She's like, it's okay. I like you a lot.
Yeah, her real one's only 100th of the size.
Yeah, and I mean, she's like, how small can it be? And she's like,
what was that,
don't
a
ask.
centimeter? Maybe.
Now here's another classic case. She's homely looking as shit. This guy has a 6-pack, and you mean to tell me this guy can't get laid with that girl? Granted, the boyfriend's there cock blocking him every step of the way, but even if he wasn't there, I don't think he'd be able to get laid. See, now that's desperate. He's trying. What's he gonna do? Like, hey, let me fuck you in front of my boyfriend's older, like my sister's older boyfriend that looks like he's 35, but he's still in college. I mean, am I the only one that's gonna point out that his Hugh Hefner robe? His Hugh Hefner robe. He has a scarf. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him tell the story. And look at him. He's like, what happened to your hair? Because in the 80s, white guys, they didn't care about asses. They didn't care about boobs.
God, he almost looks like Emilio Estevez.
They care about hair. Him? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are we ducks or what?
Oh, man, oh, man. He taped Larry Luster's buns together. Like how it's kind of hairy. When they pulled off the tape, all the hair came with it and some skin. And that's why I'm in detention. I shudder to think what the excuses for them being in detention are when they remake Breakfast Club, which is inevitable. I mean, because nowadays you have to do some real hardcore shit to even get put in detention because teachers want to go the fuck home.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I don't want to stay here till 4 o'clock with your little ratty ass. I want to go home. Go home and bother your parents. So taping a kid's ass cheeks together, I'm pretty certain that would be like, okay, you're reprimanded, you get 2 weeks detention, they draw a name out of a hat, and you're the one that has to be in charge of that detention session. That's pretty much what it probably boils down to. Okay. Here we go. See, now he's doing it wrong. He's dancing, but he needs to just lift his shirt up and show her the goods.
Yeah.
That's it. He did half of that. But flailing around like a
lover boy going.
Flailing around it just makes him look desperate.
Yeah.
And now he's on his knees. And I love that line. Not nice guy, that's the kiss of death. It is true. No woman in the history of women has ever willingly fucked a guy they deemed nice unless they had a child or unless they needed a place to stay. Then it's like, we'll give the nice guy some ass. But no girl said, oh, that guy over there, that nice guy over there holding the door, that nice guy over there that went to school, that nice guy over there that's never been to jail, I'm going to fuck him. No. They don't. They don't. It doesn't happen. See, he showed his true colors. He was thirsty, and women don't like it when guys are thirsty. Women are attracted to guys that don't give a shit and are jerks. If you could be a jerk to a girl without seeming like you're gonna fucking cut her up into pieces and put her in a garbage bag in the back of your trunk, you could get laid.
And that's kind of my problem.
And we find out that Buddy's genitalia's name is Spike. He named his genitalia Spike. She's hungover, drinking black coffee. I don't know what's up with that Coke can. That looks like
New Coke.
it just well, it doesn't even look like a can of soda, dude. It looks like it's fucking like Bush's baked beans in there or something like that. It's like an old ass can of like pink salmon or friggin' corned beef. And of course he's eating leftover pizza because in the 80s, I'm pretty certain in America the two foods or three foods most consumed in the 80s. We'll say 4. 5. We'll give it 5. And you tell me if this sounds accurate or not. Potato chips is number 5. We gotta look at Rick's mom. So we can only think about what her friend must have looked like. Unless her friend was like the good looking friend and his mom was the ugly friend. Anyway, potato chips. Sounds about right, right?
Yeah.
Cola.
Yes.
Whether it was RC, Coke, Pepsi, Cola.
And CNC.
CNC. I loved CNC. French fries.
Yeah.
Burgers, whether they were cheeseburgers or hamburgers.
They're making a comeback.
And pizza. I think those were the top foods consumed in America in the 80s. From 1980 to like 1989. Especially when the fucking Ninja Turtles came out and they were like pizza, 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 pizza.
Yeah.
Think about it. Back then, you had 3 commercial brand pizzerias. You had Little Caesars, you had Domino's, and you had Pizza Hut. Not to mention, at least we're from New Jersey, right? If you haven't noticed, we're from New Jersey. Pizza is like
Life.
every town has at least one good pizzeria that you could turn to. And even if you don't want to go and eat real pizza, you could eat Domino's, Papa John's, whatever. You know what I mean? Pizza's a big deal. But we went off on a tangent and we missed the most important part. She went and got Rick new clothes and now Rick is getting noticed. And she's like, oh, well, I gotta get me some of that Rick action. Why? What's that guy wearing? The guy in like the maroon purple pants, like he had freaking like sequins, like a line of them up the side. Look at, he's wearing them right there. Look, what is that? What is that? It looks like something like one of the members of the Revolution would wear. Oh my god.
The Revolution.
Let's be honest. He's wearing a blouse. Rick's wearing a blouse. The 80s were all about dudes wearing blouses. And that's why we got the famous line of shirts against the blouses. Game blouses. Blouses, blouses, blouses. No one wants to admit they were blouses. But as Charlie Murphy said, why are you getting mad? You know where you got that shirt from. And it damn sure was in the men's department. Okay, so now Rick, he put on his weightlifting gloves because he likes to lift tables. Because that's somehow of a workout. I mean, those tables were pretty light.
Yeah,
sure. Those lunch tables were pretty light. And I mean, trays, well, where's the real workout? Oh, and look at Rick. He's like, I'm about to get me some of this generic spaghetti.
He sees blood. He smells blood.
Smells blood in the water. Oh, and it's spaghetti too. It's gonna stain. Oh no, wait. See, what had happened was, Yup. Dude, now I want fucking spaghetti, like real spaghetti and meatballs. Product placement. Oh, here we go. Not only is his shirt a blouse, his jacket's a blouse too. You notice? Why hasn't he taken the spaghetti off of? He's like, she's freaking out because his cock's out, but she can't look away.
Whoops.
She can't look away.
Whoop.
I don't know about you, but if a chick's peeing, I want nothing of it. Like, if a girl's gonna pee, it needs to be like in a studio with a bunch of lights, Japanese game show host going, and the girl's like peeing at targets. And one's like a clown's mouth, and one's like a creature from the Black Lagoon's mouth, and one's like a dirty old politician's mouth, and she's just aiming and peeing. I don't want to see a girl peeing in a toilet. No, that there's nothing sexy about that. I wouldn't try and catch a look. No. So, but she, she was like all about it. She's like, I gotta take a look at this guy's dick. even though he's peeing. And now here's Rick's transformation. He goes from looking like an 18, 19-year-old kid to looking like he's 35 years old. Okay. I buy it. Because she kind of looks like a mom. Greg Tolan is toast! Because guys all talk like this! You know, I should like pay the $15 to get her information off of IMDb and call her. Hello? Hey Terry, this is your future self. Don't go to Los Angeles. What's in Los Angeles? Don't go. And then look at him, he's back. And is this the same day? Is it the same day? I don't know, but it looks like he's wearing a purple shirt. Oh, don't eat the cafeteria food, it's terrible for you. Made him a sandwich. Wow, that's nice. She's showing that she has domestic qualities. Here comes her brother. Now here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that's like the '80s must have been awesome because it looks like you could just leave your school in the middle of the day and go to someone else's school, and no one would be the wiser. It's like he's just like, oh, I'm going to show up at your school and talk about how your girlfriend came by. Show him your hairy chest. Show him your hairy chest. Look at Rick's face. It looks like he's really concentrating. Like he's like, I'm really paying attention to you, but I'm going to turn my attention to this sandwich. Now, you want to know something? Terry gets points because that's definitely romaine lettuce on that sandwich. It's nice and green. It's not that iceberg lettuce that has zero nutritional content. It's basically just water.
Oh, yeah.
That actually looks like a good sandwich. Nice ass, nice chest, sexy voice, and she can make a sandwich. I think that's marriage material right there. It reminds me of this news article. Okay, so here's something, right? Now look, Buddy, look at him. Maybe he just needed to switch schools because look, now he's throwing down the moves.
Look how straight.
The snake wants to know what's going on. And look, he's actually making her blush, and it looks like he's actually going to get some action. And here it comes, Greg Tolan. Now, can you guess what's going to happen? I think we're going to have cock block via lifting of the table. I'm not certain, but I'm something inside just tells me it's coming. And look, they're drinking quick. So I guess they couldn't get any beer sponsors for this film. Okay. Here we go. He's going to make a speech. And just look at Buddy. Look at Buddy's thirsty ass. Look at him. He's looking blowing in her. Now, look, he's gone a little too far. And that's it. Because he's so thirsty. Buddy needs to play it cool. Well, here's the point in the film. This isn't the Revenge of the Nerds moment where they rise up against bullying, but this is a step in the right direction. And I like how the smart guy is using his intelligence to make the dumb guy look stupid, whereas the dumb guy uses his brute strength to make the smart guy look dumb. And what's he wearing? What's he wearing? It looks like something like Marty McFly would wear if he wanted to like mimic a Michael Jackson music video, but could only afford clothes from Caldor. Yeah, I know about Caldor. And look at how short it is. It's a blouse. And of course, he's gonna attack his tiny dick. I'd take lack of IQ. I'd rather be dumb with a big schlong than smart with a tiny one. Oh, he's a pinky. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, Morehouse. That's really funny. Whoa! Did you see that guy that looked like he was 40? With the glasses! Let's see if he pops up again. That would be really awesome.
That dude wearing shorts, would be wearing any tighter shorts?
Oh, man. It's the 80s, though. You know, it was all about wearing panties. And of course, and instead of like beating the crap out of him, what's happening right here, right? He gets angry, and that's it. They get to walk away. Here goes one of my favorite lines. Terry was right. You are an asshole. That asshole called me an asshole? Oh man, this is great. Here we go, and then the nerds. I don't know what's going on here. This is just like really. It's funny. Whenever I watch this film, that one part just takes me out of it because it just makes me like it brings up the bully in me. It makes me just want to bully them. Like, why can't the nerds have like, you know, done something a little bit more creative? Like, you know, do the Star Trek theme, dun, 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 with their little pinkies representing Greg's dick. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and now here we go. He's gonna ask Deborah Strobridge, who has no tits, has no ass, looks like a mom, is wearing an obnoxious yellow dress, and she's gonna say yes. Well, you can see her nipples though. I mean that's cool.
Yeah.
It's sad. Mine are bigger. You know, it really is sad. And now this is where Terry realizes that after spending a week with this guy, she really likes him. After a week, maybe it was probably a little bit more than a week. Maybe like a week and a half. Uh oh. She's real happy for him. And now she realizes, you know what? I kind of want to suck your dick. I kind of want to suck your dick. You know, she's probably like, you're going with Deborah, but I want to suck your dick. Oh man.
Wait, let me suck your dick, or else I'll kill myself.
One of these days we'll have to do Southland Tales justice. I don't even know if it's possible. We tried and it didn't turn out too well, but this one's going pretty well. So if you guys like it, we'll do another one. Okay, so now she has to ask someone to the dance, and she's gonna ask her best friend that's a chick, and her friend's gonna say the one thing that it's beautiful to hear. You know, since I'm not, she basically said her prospects are pretty shitty with guys. I might as well go with you. Because that's the best date that I've gotten in months. This is why I couldn't be born a girl. Because if I were a girl, I would fuck all of my female friends and be like, yeah, let's go to the mall. Let's do all kinds. I couldn't be a chick. If I were a lesbian if I were a gay and I was a lesbian, I look like Terry.
Look out.
Game over. Game over. I would have no female friends. Or I would have a bunch of them. They'd be like, oh, I really like you. Even though I do believe I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body.
My grandfather used to say that.
I am, though. I mean, the way I make love like a lesbian. I'm like, what? Let me tell you something. If you want to know what my skills are like, Rent Bound. Rent Bound and watch the scene between Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly, and now you'll get an idea of. I just lost all train of thought. Did you see the hooker shoes she put on?
Yeah.
The fucking hooker hose shoes. Oh, I mean, they make her ass just look so nice. This is totally just an inside reference, but doesn't Sam kind of remind you of Terry a little bit? Just the deep voice, the man haircut, nice tits.
She's gonna listen to this.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, well, and you know, she'll say thank you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, well, she should. If I were a girl, I'd like to be compared to her. That's like if someone said I look like Clive Owen, I'd be like, shit. Okay, I like that. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you look like such and such. Now, if we said, you know what Sam reminds us of? Ralph Macchio. Well, here we have, like, you know, your typical friggin' girls chatting it up about fucking dates and all this irrelevant crap that nobody cares about. Her friend has a really cute face, but the rest of her just sucks. It's like she has a cute face, but the rest of her, I swear to God, she looks like a grown-ass 12-year-old girl. Look at how she's dressed. Grown-ass 12-year-old girl. Now, maybe if she, you know, she's wearing all the baggy clothes, so maybe that's what it is. Uh-oh. And I'm pretty certain Joey Lawrence stole his look from Buddy. I'm almost, that's, like if Joey Lawrence was in like a Chuck Norris-esque, like, action film, Buddy would be his stunt double. And here we have Sherilyn Fenn.
Yep.
With a bowl of fish. Now here's the thing, I'm gonna get a little Freudian, right? What do you think the bowl of fish represents? Because if you really like a guy, right, why the hell would you buy him fish? Why? How is that like anything that would show a man you care about? I really care about you. Here's some fucking fish. I don't get that to save my life, dude. Fish. They're fish. Now here's the thing. If a girl gave me fish, or Sherilyn Fenn came to my home, found out where I live because she's a stalker, and gave me fish, I'd be very happy because she's a stalker and she got me fish. You know what that means? I'm set. Let me tell you something about stalker girls. Everyone looks down on them and frown upon them. You get a stalker girl, if you're looking to settle down, a stalker girl's a girl you want to get. She'll love you forever. You don't have to work too hard. In her eyes, you're already like the greatest guy ever, even if you suck. Roll with it. Just don't get caught looking at any other women. Or talking to any other women.
Right.
Because your dick will get cut off in the middle of the night. And she's just like, wow. And in all this nudity, there's a U2 poster. Because I'm Bono, you gotta save the naked African kids, the naked African kids. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, I realized this film has a lot of nudity in it, actually, for a PG-13 movie. Because think about it, if it's a PG-13 comedy right now, in this day and age, we would not have nude centerfolds. Like, you could see nipples and bush and everything in the background. You would get, like, they would be, like, strategically covered if they are nude. It's like, oh, look, that plant's in the way. We can't see her boobs.
Yeah.
I have to say, they did a really good job at casting both of them because they really do look like brother and sister. Okay, now, here's the thing, right? I'm a leg guy. I like me some legs. The minute that Sherilyn Fenn sat down on that bed, game over. I'd be like, listen, Sandy, I'm really a chick, but I gotta have you. Because she's crazy enough that she might actually... She's crazy enough that she might actually be down with something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at her stalking her like a fucking predator. Oh, they're kissing fish. Oh, that's so cute. Kissing fish for someone that you've known for a week and a half.
Fish swimming in fluid. I assume that's supposed to be semen.
Well, I mean, I always look at fish as a reference to the JJ. That's pretty much how I've looked at it. Wow, this guy showed up in a suit. Like, how much of a douche does this guy look like? Oh, look at you, pissed off Emilio. You know who my brother is? You know who my father is? That's just unsanitary. You fucking let a grown man put his hand all over your face. Here's Buddy's moment of opportunity. Wow, that's too kinky for him. Half-naked girl feeding pizza to a fish. But here's the thing, though. You want to know what's really cool? Buddy didn't act too thirsty at first, and who does the girl he ends up having sex with? Sherilyn Fenn. Because he wasn't thirsty at first. All the other chicks, he was like, it's like a fucking chihuahua just on them, like, look at him. It's a total Norman Bates moment. seriously. I wouldn't have let her leave. One thing Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon has told me is that if you're a little bit forceful with chicks, they'll stop. They'll let you. Like, I remember that scene in the film where he's like wrestling her. She's like, no, 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 no. And he puts his hand down her pants and starts rubbing her, and then she shuts up. And it's funny because, like, people were watching the film. The film's in, what is it, Chinese, I think, or something like that. And no one understood what was going on. And it was like, I hate subtitles. But everyone realized at that moment what was happening. Resistance is down. Oh my god. Oh. As much as he comes off as a douche in this film, he doesn't look nearly as douchey as he does now. Like, this is like top level douchebaggery. He makes the dude that got Patrick Swayze set up to get killed by that Puerto Rican dude in Ghost look like fucking Uncle Joey. What a douche. And here we go. Prom night. Couldn't get laid. That was the dashing part. So funny. Now she has concern about him. Your brother was alone for 2 weeks. His parents were gone for 2 weeks. And he couldn't get laid. And instead of talking sense into your best friend who's also lonely, you let this poor kid suffer with blue balls. Although I do like his line in the beginning. He's like, it's not like I've never had sex before. I've had lots of sex. It's just now that I like to try it with a partner. I like his line here. He's like, I know this place. It delivers. Can I borrow $200? He's sitting at home devouring a box of chocolates because he couldn't get laid. You know, I think that's part of the reason why the world is messed up. I think there should be a national holiday, right? Global holiday. That on that day, everyone gets laid. Doesn't matter who you are, everyone gets laid. If you have herpes, we'll set you up with a person who has herpes. You got HIV, we'll set you up with someone who has HIV. You have money, we'll set you up with a black girl. Oh my. I'm sorry, I take that back. Oh, wait a minute, I'm allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say
not.
that. I give you, I'm doing the sign of the cross right now. I decree you are honorary black. You can make black jokes in my company. But if there's other black people around, I don't know if I could protect you.
Right.
Yeah. If there was a day where everyone got laid, I guarantee there wouldn't be any war. I guarantee people will look forward to that holiday more than Thanksgiving, where they get to stuff food in their mouths. More than Halloween, where you get to watch half-naked girls run around as sexy nurses and sexy dolphins and shit like that. And Christmas, where you just get a bunch of shit that's marked down that you could have bought during the year at any given time. So yeah, this is a total 80s motif. You have the prom or the dance or whatever the hell it is, and it's on the beach. Because you can't. Okay, that guy's playing a star. Those guitars are actually kind of awesome. The V drums, I am not gonna vouch for the V drums.
V drums.
Yeah. So, and these guys are wearing fucking Green Ranger protective shields on their body. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. I seriously doubt James Brown taught him those moves, but I'll believe it. It's on IMDb.
Yeah.
It's on IMDb. But let me tell you something, though. If this song came on in a department store, and department stores are notorious for playing songs like this, I would bust out these moves. I don't care how old I got. I would bust out these moves. I'd be like a fucking 90-year-old man if I lived to get to live that long. I'd be a 90-year-old man, friggin' busting out those moves. Now, I'm not saying that Royston Langdon of Space Hog has seen this film, but I'm pretty certain he got his look from the bass player and singer of this band. He's like, I could play bass. I could make my hair look like that.
Except he opted for Rickenbacker.
Yeah, but And this guy here, he looks like Martin Sheen. Not Martin Sheen. What's
Martin
the other?
Short.
Martin Short. There we go. And he's looking at her.
He looks like he should be heading down to the crossroads with
Oh
Ralph
my God.
Macchio.
Yeah. That was funny. I couldn't laugh because I can't believe, I just can't believe that you pulled that one out of your ass. That's like a Deus Ex Machina reference right there. And look at Greg Tolan, upset. All these guys look like they're 40. All of them. What are you doing if you're 40 years old playing a school prom? I guess that's all you could do, really. That's the only gig you can get. But you really think the kids would, like, respond to you?
On Torkelson's Armada, featuring Herman Menderchuk.
I'm not even going to touch it. So now she's sorry for being a slut. Obviously, she's got the whole Cyndi Lauper thing going down. Madonna-esque Cyndi Lauper hybrid. She looks like she wants it. You saw the look on her face. She's like, okay, listen, Rick, I want you to take me to the motel, and I want you to bang me. I know I look like your mom's friend, and I think that's a plus because, I mean, prior to me, that's the only sexual experience you've ever had.
Miserable.
Of course she looks miserable. It's like, I guess it was like no one asked her. She wanted to go. And instead of, like, just grooming her eyebrows, she just decided, nah, whatever. She kind of looks like Ali Sheedy in the beginning of Breakfast Club. Hey.
Oh, the guitar player's going.
Hey, I'm old enough to be your brother's weird friend. I don't know if that turns you on or not. Bet you it does. Oh, frog in a punch. I kind of want to hit this guy. Is that wrong? I kind of want to hit him in the face. I like that he's kind of animals and he's an animal person, but I still want to hit him.
It's overkill.
It's overkill. It's like I just want to hit him in the face. And now Emilio Estevez means business. He put on his best denim jacket / blouse. He came into the fucking house all like just. It's like the scene in the Breakfast Club where he smokes the pot. He just goes complete ape shit and he's jumping over the bookcases like they're fucking hurdles. He goes into the radio station. He goes, "Ah!" And the entire
Which is
glass
the opposite
breaks.
of what should have happened.
It's the opposite of what happens with marijuana. Although people have said that marijuana has made them hyper. I've never encountered those people before in my life because everyone I've known that says, okay, we'll get some stuff done, we'll work on some stuff. It's like, just let me smoke up first. And then I'm like, okay, ready to do some stuff? And they're like, what stuff? It's kind of like South Park with Towel. He's like, just let me get high. I know I can remember if I get high. And they give him his pipe and they give him his weed. He smokes up. And then he's like, okay, so where is it? Where's what? The army base where our Combo Games Fair is being held. And then Towley's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Greg Tolan. His buddies are like, you got this. You got this. You're 26 years old. You got this. Yeah. Everyone here is 26 years old. This has to be the worst school ever. If there are people in their mid-20s and they still can't graduate. Now that I think about it, they actually do make a good couple. Now she's throwing in the cock block. Dude, that's how women are. Women will throw whomever under the bus to get some dick. They don't care. Seriously, they're worse than guys. Because if a guy can't get laid with a girl, most guys don't sabotage the other guy. They're just like, well, he beat me to it. Other girls would be like, oh, yeah, he might be fucking her now, but I'm gonna put together this elaborate plan, and then he's gonna want to fuck me. And it's really not an elaborate plan. I mean, any guy would fuck any girl given the circumstances. If he hasn't gotten laid in a while, you catch him on the right day. You can find a guy that would fuck Betty White. I'm pretty certain there's a guy on this planet that isn't an old dude. A guy on this planet that's probably my age that would fuck Betty White.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, he might not even be a granny slammer. He might just do it to do it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He totally oversold that punch. Here we go. Yeah, piggyback, because I hate you so much. And he's trying to bite him. But you have to understand, Terry's really a chick, so it's excusable.
Yeah.
That's how most girls fight. Here we go. Here we go. Fireman's carry. Fireman's carry. Into the water. If I were a pro wrestler, that would be my finishing maneuver. Oh, and here we go. He knows karate. And then look at, and now this
and he
is
does
not,
the same thing.
This is not excusable at all. But like I was saying, if I was a pro wrestler, that would be my finisher. I'd have like the waves come up from underneath the ring too, because I have to throw them in the water. Okay, now this is it. He's like,
do you think Vince McMahon would foot the bill for that effect?
Being
No.
that I'm kind of brown, no. Hey, listen, I'm 35. You're fucking 26. You shouldn't be kicking my ass. You know what? I'm gonna kick your ass. No, you're not gonna kick my ass. I'm 26. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Yeah. Yeah. See, let me show you. I didn't know Rick knew how to fight. Look at him.
Jab, jab.
Look at him. Maybe
Jab.
it's the whole jab. He's just like eating
Jab.
those jabs. Like seriously, put your hands up, man. And then he's like, let me kiss you. Dude, not on the food. That's the best part about parties is that it's free food. Not on the food. Everyone's like, yeah! Uh-oh. Denim blouse. That's it. You know what? I'm making an 80s cover band. I'm gonna name it Denim Blouse. This blouse is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Terry's boyfriend. Love someone else. Whoa. Here's the thing that I don't understand, right? I understand that this is a film, and you write certain things, and they have to follow certain conventions to be considered like a standard film, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna let everyone know that whatever I'm saying, I'm gonna stop when the tits show up. But I'll get to that. I just wanna. The tits are coming. The titties are coming. The titties are coming. Oh, this is probably what you paid your $6.80 for a movie ticket? Maybe
$5.
$5. This is your $5. This is what you paid your $5 for. It'd be awesome if movie prices were $5 now. I'd go see a lot more films.
It might have been like $3 for kids back then.
Oh well, you know, I would get in every movie because I was in existence. Okay, I'm Cyndi Lauper. Lauper. She's a female. She swears. How he could never tell is ridiculous. But here comes the confirmation. Beautiful.
Ta-da!
Beautiful. I'm glad I'm watching this on a flat screen television. She's sorry? She's sorry? She should never have to be sorry. Are you serious, man? Yeah, no, here she goes. She's explaining everything, and I don't understand it. He's upset. Dude, imagine if a girl you were hanging out with, right? You thought she was a boy. You weren't certain, right? She thought she was a boy. She came out and said she was a girl and she's in love with you. Would you react this way? And on top of that, to prove to you that she's a female, she shows you her tits.
There's that episode of Family Guy when they went down south to hide.
I remember that episode. I don't watch much Family Guy, but I do remember that episode.
Yeah.
I would have taken her home. I've been like, I'm going home with you. Now, in the power of movie magic and filmmaking, Buddy walks away with the slutty girl that was all over his sister. Oh my God!
Oh.
2 men kissing! Oh no!
Men in bed. His face is getting red.
It's okay. He has tits. But like I was saying, right? You know, like how movie conventions are. It's what I don't understand, right? Is
Hey, you might as well show them all.
well, some people aren't interested. But like I was saying, like obviously, in order to tell the story, the boyfriend she was with had to be a dick.
Yes.
Because if he was a great boyfriend, then she wouldn't jump ship. But does she really love Rick, or is it just that it's like it was the first man she was able to get close to because he didn't see her as a hot piece of ass. If she had approached Rick as a female, Rick probably would have treated her differently, and things would have ended up differently. But because Rick saw her as a dude, as a friend, they became close. I guess that is kind of profound, and I was gonna dismiss it as like pretty simplistic filmmaking, but it actually kind of makes sense. This whole movie, she's trying to be taken serious as not a piece of ass, and the only way she could do that is to portray herself as a man in order to get Rick to care about her, and now Rick cares about her, or, I'm not spoiling anything, this is how it ends up. He cares about her because he got to know her as a person and not as tits and ass. So obviously she's going to end up with Rick. I guess that makes sense, and I guess it isn't simplistic movie making, and it is kind of profound. This is simplistic as shit, though. But then again, it's like, she's kind of a little bit nuts, and Buddy does kind of have a six-pack, so it's like, I've never seen a guy with a six-pack have to work so hard to get laid. Yeah, let's kiss in front of my sister.
I'm bringing in the backwards talking midget while we're at it.
I like that he's like, oh, that's really nice, that's great. Turn off the light on your way out. Damn. She's got some nice tits. Even when they're covered, they're nice. I like those lines in between. I like it when a girl's breasts, push against the shirt and get those lines in between. They're beautiful. Now she's crying with her best Tony Soprano fucking gold chain on. You're crying over a dude that you've known for, what, like a week and a half? Dude, I would never use a typewriter. I've tried.
I've tried also.
I've tried. It's just way too many things can go wrong.
Yeah, like that.
Way too many things can go wrong with a typewriter. Give me one of those old-ass word processors with the green screen. I don't care if my eyes go bad.
I used to have one of those.
Yeah,
Word Perfect, like version 1.
Well, it was the 80s. The world was a very ugly place back then. Look at how these people are dressed. Hey, look. Hey, we're both wearing the same thing today. She's just not ready. She's back on the market. She's just not ready. There's some thirsty men at these high schools. Like, you mean to tell me there's no other chicks you can get laid with? First of all, Terry's supposed to be the queen bee, right? So why? Why are they even trying? And she's heartbroken, so why are they even trying? And his hair kind of looks a little bit green. And those pants that he could fit his whole arm into the pockets is fucking ridiculous. And look, she turns down the effeminate looking nerd for the guy who was really good looking, but they portrayed him as a nerd.
Pearl Diver.
Why didn't they just call the paper the Holy Diver? Make this a Catholic school and call it Holy Diver. And then we get like a Dio. Yeah, we get... Like,
Holy Diver.
Hey, Dio, can we use Holy Diver? Sure. Hey, I just want to let you know that when I was talking about you earlier and your legs, I didn't really mean it. Well, I did mean it, but what I really mean is that you shouldn't tell anyone about it, because I'll lose my journalism job. You can tell this movie's totally 80s. She wants to be a newspaper reporter. She wants to be a journalist. Most people don't want to be journalists anymore because if they want to be, they just start a fucking blog or start a website, and then they consider themselves journalists. They don't have to go through the routines. And even like when I interned, it was like there are no journalism jobs. Nobody reads papers anymore. Nobody reads. And look at how sorry he looks. It's like, I'm so sorry for sexually harassing you when I didn't know you were there. Oh, fade to black. This must be some months later. Here's Buddy.
He's driving now. Yeah, he must be 16 now.
Yeah, but he's wearing the same shirt.
Yeah. And her hair hasn't grown.
Yeah. Maybe she just keeps it like that because that's how Rick likes it. You should be happy. You got the job you wanted. And I got a sex life. Oh, shit, he's a ninja. Wow. Wow, where was he? Where was he in this entire thing? He must have been watching them from across the street from the rooftop.
He
And
rolled
just,
across
shimmied
the
out.
street, then rolled over the back of the car.
No, you know what? He was underneath Buddy's car. He was underneath the car.
like Norm.
Yeah, yeah. He was underneath the car. I'm still wearing that blouse you bought me. I miss you. I miss your 26-year-old senior high school look. And I miss your 35-year-old senior high school look. The guy has fucking crow's feet. For crying out loud, he has crow's feet. How is he a senior in high school? I'm the guy
Stayed back
here.
a lot.
Yeah.
They all did.
Yeah. Growing pains. That little wisp on the front of his hair just looks like a fucking green rainbow. It doesn't look like there's any, like, consistency to it. Oh, see, he's reading a newspaper. Now, I'm not certain, but I think this was the chick from the beginning that said she'll do anything with anyone. I think that was her. Because it would be so weird if that was just like a regular random-ass chick that picked him up on the motorcycle. Well, either way, I guess it works. I guess the legend of Buddy has traveled. And, like, yeah, he does that thing, which I don't understand, that whole pumping the arm thing. I don't get what that's supposed to be. And then she throws her hands up in the air like she's fucking Rocky, and that's the end of the movie. You know what? Whatever. I don't care. I actually like this song. This is the only time you're gonna hear me like admit to liking it, because if I go overboard with it, people will be like, "Hey, you're that dude that likes that song. Tonight you're mine, baby." It's not manly at all. Well, I don't understand. Why are the credits yellow, or is that just my eyes?
I think they're yellowish.
That's what I think. Stuntmen, there were two. There were two stuntmen and two stuntwomen. I think I know what the stunts were when they were thrown into the water, which really isn't much of a stunt, because the water breaks your fall. I mean, the worst that could happen is that you burn your eyes because it's salt water, but whatever.
I was looking at the band credits to see if there was actually a name there that I'd recognize, and like, are you freaking kidding me? No. No one.
There's a lot of people worked on this film. Well, I guess that's every film, so what the hell am I talking about? But for some strange reason, I feel like I'm more into looking at names and credits of 80s films than any other films, because I'm just looking for weird like combinations of name. Like Vic Petrata.
Yolanda Tausing.
That's gonna be my poor name. Vic Petrata. Fred Lucky, Kay Cox.
Hello, Mr. Lombardo.
Doreen A. Dixon. And then titles by Movie Magic. Music supervision, Kevin Benson. Why am I saying this out loud? I don't know. Just one of the guys.
Mark Tanner and John Reed.
Performed by Shalimar.
Shalimar.
Performed by Midnight Star. Performed by Berlin. I remember Berlin.
Yeah. Paul Schaefer. Paul Schaefer of the CBS Orchestra.
Man. The Stooges.
Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh, that's... I don't recall hearing the Stooges, but whatever.
Bone Daddies. A group called the Bone Daddies had a song called Bones. Neurotica.
Well, I'm going to go online and try and find a soundtrack. Elektra and Asylum Records. You know, I'm one of those people that likes to collect soundtracks from weird films. Playboy Clubs, International, Playboy Enterprises, supplying us with quality poon.
Yes.
Background poon, but poon nonetheless. I can never understand. Is that supposed to be a globe? That whole thing with is that a globe with a reel in the middle of it?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense to me. It never made sense to me when I was younger. And yeah, that's it. That's one of the guys, and it's a real favorite film of ours. And we decided to do this commentary out of respect because it's one of those underrated '80s gems and more quotable lines out of any '80s films. I mean, you think of all the '80s films out there that people deem like classics and have quotable lines. You know, this one holds its own. There's a lot. There's a lot in there. Maybe we'll get around to doing a splicing together of all the quotable lines from the film, all the major lines, just like one quick video or something like that. But yeah, so that's our commentary for just one of the guys. It was really fun, like watching this film and talking about it. And the funny thing about it is that if we did another one, if we did a second commentary track to this film, we would still find new things to talk about, which is great. That's a testament of a great film. You know, we'd retread some stuff, but we'd also like come up with some stuff too. And yeah, so that's it. It's been great, and we will catch you guys next commentary. Later.
Later.